Welcome back once again to the Millionaire Bob Morning Show. To all your listeners out there, we have a special guest with us today. I've spoken with her before, and I know that she's a really good, excellent, exceptional guest for this show. She is a serial entrepreneur. Like us, she's been through it. She's been through the failures. She's bounced back. She's done it over and over and over again. A lot of us have that same story. We have her with us today to tell us how to kind of navigate through some of that entrepreneurial spirit downfalls and come ups as well. So you get to listen to some of her story, what she's been through up to where she's currently at. Welcome to the show, the Millionaire Bob Morning Show, Taurea.
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing?
I'm doing well today. I am looking forward to this interview because I've watched your interview, and in your interviews, you've mentioned these are a lot of people that we follow or that I turn other people on to. I've heard you mention, or you did an interview with David Shands.
Yes,
Um, you mentioned Myron Golden.
yes,
You've mentioned selling life insurance. You've mentioned being a part of network marketing,
yes.
MLMs. So, I mean, I think we've all been there. And like I say, you speak on a lot of people, so that we listen to, that I kind of tell my fans to follow and listen to as well. So, yeah, let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about Taurea. Let's go back to what even made you get the entrepreneurial bug, the spirit of being an entrepreneur. How did that come about?
Well, absolutely. Well, first, and please, Rashad, just please, I always like to make sure I tell people how to say my name, right? So the easiest way to remember it, it's always like Maria with a T, Taria. So
Taurea.
Taria Vision Avant. And man, and the entrepreneur bug, honestly, it has been in me since I was a little girl. And you know how you always hear those stories where people say, well, I was the kid that was selling candy and all. I never did that, but I had a couple of challenges. Number one, I used to be a little bossy girl. I was bossy, but I was bossy because I always wanted to organize certain things. And I never will forget when I was a little girl having a couple of my friends, and I wanted us to put together a club for girls. And there would be a $5 dues, and the dues would help to cover our food. We needed snacks. And when we had our meetings, I'll never forget that. And so it's always been in me. I've always aspired to want to do things. And I really think that a lot of that desire to lead and desire to empower came from my father. One thing a lot of people don't really know, and I've shared that my mother, my birth mother, she passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. She was an alcoholic. And it was definitely, if you've ever been in a household with someone who is suffering from that disease, it is very difficult, especially if it gets to the point where you have cirrhosis. It was a tough coming up. But my father was also an alcoholic and an addict, but he was a recovering alcoholic and addict. And one of the things I saw my dad do is I saw him lead these organizations. Not only was he just a participant, but he would come in and create all these manuals and really like lead the meetings. Like he found a great opportunity and made it better. And so for me, that has always been something, that has really, I think, just been placed on my heart, that whenever I'm in an environment, whatever it is, whether it's my job, whether it's a TV show that I used to host when I was living in Virginia, whether it's me being on the dance line when I danced through college, I want to make sure that I can bring some kind of value. And so I've always had that bug of wanting to lead and wanting to be able to make things better. So entrepreneurship it just made sense. Now, it wasn't always the case. Before me getting into the space of coaching, it's a long story. I tried entrepreneurship when I was in Virginia. I tried, like you said, the insurance. I was a bail bondsman. I sold knives, vacuum cleaners. Well, I tried all these things. I never really did them. I was a tripreneur, which I find a lot of people fall into that bracket of always trying a thing but never sticking with it. And it wasn't until now, my mother, my birth mother, had already passed, and God blessed me with a second mom. Her name is Veronica, who lives in North Carolina, that was with my dad. But he now is diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And it's probably, again, another big challenge. One of the hardest things I think that any child should ever have to see is their parent go through this struggle, or anyone that you love. I mean, anyone you love that goes through that battle of cancer, it is something that is a forever lasting imprint on your mind. But I watched him go through this, and I saw so many different things in him during that process. And one of those, having that feeling of regret, of maybe not necessarily doing all the things, stop quitting and doing. And while I won't necessarily put all that on him as far as the quitting, it kind of fell on me, where like, T, you always trying all these businesses, but you quit. Now you done got complacent at this little job that you barely can make any money, that you actually had to have your degree in computer science to even get, making 26,000 a year. Is this what you gonna do for the rest of your life? And when my father did pass away, he blessed me with insurance, which that's a whole nother conversation. And I used to be ashamed to talk about it, but it allowed me the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to leave and start this business. Now, I know some of you guys might be saying, well, I don't got no insurance. Well, eventually the money ran out, and I had to make a decision. Are you going to get a job, or are you going to get out here and do the work? And so, regardless if that was the case, because I'm going to be honest, if that money would have still been coming, I probably would not be doing what I am today. But being able to just finally take the leap, no matter what the circumstance was, is why I am where I am. And then I got into doing websites. The gentleman who was the first person to ever hire me, he actually just passed away this week from a heart attack. And that was difficult because he was one of the first persons to believe in me, and he was paying me. I was trying to do these websites when I moved to Atlanta, and it was hard to get people to want to pay. And so then he introduced me to a young lady in network marketing, and I started this journey of network marketing. And in that industry, I was able to become one of the top income producers in an industry I had never really wanted to be a part of, because I was one of them that was like, it's a pyramid, a scam, and all this stuff. And then I ended up, but I ended up doing well, and I love it. I'm telling you, the stuff I learned in the industry of multi-level marketing absolutely is the reason why I know that my coaching business has sustained over 10 years. But around 2012, Rashad, I went through a bout of depression, severe depression. I was getting on these stages and telling people this is the best life in the world. And yes, I was making great income, but I knew this was not what I was called to do. I knew that this was supposed to be a stepping stone. I was unhappy. I was also dealing with so many just different things. I was cutting off all my friends. If you wasn't trying to sell any coffee, baby, don't call my phone. I was dating someone who was also a serial manipulator and dating all these other women. I mean, it was like when the boo boo hit the fan, it really hit the fan. And I went through this depression, and I even considered if I wanted to even be here on this world, living on this world anymore. I had worked so hard. I thought this was going to be my husband, my baby daddy, all of that. Now I don't have any kids. I'm not married. Both of my birth parents are gone. And it's like, I did all of this for what? And I'm so grateful that God kept me, because when I started questioning, like, the impact that I'm having on this world, it was like God just kept showing me so many people that I impacted. While no, I don't have any children that I have birthed, there are so many people that I know that, because of God putting into me and me making a decision to move forward, I have been able to impact people for the rest of their life. And so I have a video on YouTube. If you search Taurea Avant Depression, you'll see it. It's a video where I have the song God Kept Me. And I'm just grateful that he kept me. And I'm grateful that I'm here today. Now, fast forward to today, when I left the industry in network marketing and decided to be a full-time coach. I've helped over 11,000 speakers and coaches to become published authors. I've helped several of them to be able to get on stages. We've had maybe about 50 of them to be TEDx speakers. We now have international speakers. I do international events. Y'all, your girl is out here doing the doggone thing. And so that's my story in a nutshell.
That is so awesome. Round of applause to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You really jumped in it, and you jumped in it and got your feet wet. and really jumped in quicksand, let's put it that way, and was able
Listen.
to drag yourself up out of it.
Hmm.
And that's what this show is all about.
Can we say I'm still in the quicksand now? Like none of this is easy. We make it look like it's easy, but baby, to have to, can we talk about it? Because so Mike, God rest his soul. Mike Upscale, Entertainment Taylor, passed away from a heart attack this week. And this was a guy, again, like I said, was one of the first to believe in me. He passes away, and I can't even really take time to fully mourn his death because guess what? I'm a business owner and I
Right.
got staff and I've got clients. And so a lot of times people say they want to get into this entrepreneurship world, but it's not easy.
No.
I had to take a day. Yes, I took like a half a day to just be like, I can't even work. And I had to just kind of like spend time and got on the phone with some of my friends who we all knew him. But the next day, guess what? I had to shake this stuff off in this quicksand, like you just said, and get back to work. Because guess what? My bills don't care that I just lost a close friend. My clients, and yes, my clients love me, and I love my clients. They're not even clients, they're family. But at the end of the day, I still owe them me, the coach. You know what I mean? And so you ain't lying. When we talk about quicksand, baby, every day.
Anyway, got it out the mud, still getting it out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So it's a top of the mind question, and I guess it's almost a way of um, I don't know, throwing ideas against the wall or brainstorming. But I know that there's people out there with that same exact problem.
Yeah.
Kind of, you can't tell because you are the coach. You cannot allow the business is you.
Yeah.
In what way can those be separated to where you can step away from it and still be able to allow it to run by itself? Have
Okay,
you?
honey, you get into the conversation. Yes. So, what I will tell you is that I do have staff. And so I have an incredible team, by the way. Like the team that we have, many of them have been with me for several years. Even when I tell them, listen, y'all, the business is going through ups and downs, they like, we don't care. Whatever we got to do, we stick it in there for the long run. So it's important to have an incredible foundation. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people say, well, it's difficult for me to find, like that first hire, which I always recommend being a virtual assistant, you not being the bottleneck of your business. Everybody says, I can't find. I'm just gonna be real transparent, y'all. The ability of you finding a good employee has everything to do with how you lead. And so, one thing that I will say that has helped me, because when I first started bringing on VAs and assist, y'all, even today, I'm still always having to work on my leadership, work on my skill sets of being able to paint the picture, paint the vision, and getting people to follow me, even if I'm paying them. And so, if I was to give advice to anyone that's like, okay, well, how can I position myself so that if life does happen, if things are difficult, the first thing is you got to develop those leadership skills and hire you team members. The first hire that everybody should have is an assistant. And I'm not meaning like a physical assistant. And unfortunately, I'm also not meaning in the United States. I know we want to hire in the US, which you will be able to get to that point. But for most of us that are just starting businesses, you might not have the capital to afford someone US based. You can find someone in the Philippines, which I highly recommend the Philippines, where they'll be willing to start off working $4 to $5 an hour. And so now you're building it where you don't always have to be responsible. Now, you do have to know how to teach your VAs and teach them the different things. You can't just say, hey, go get me some leads. It's not going to work. But it's because I do have a staff that I could say, and this is the thing, Rashad, I just got back from Aruba last week. I was gone the whole week. So I didn't do any work in Aruba. I did a couple calls, but then you come back to now hearing this, it's like, oh my gosh. So you got to have you a staff. So that's what I would say is the best way of, if you don't want to always have to be the one responsible, start hiring that. Now I'm bringing on a CFO. I'm bringing on, a COO. I'm bringing on different people as my business has continued to climb.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome answer. So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect, may I ask you, because you started in another situation and moved to Atlanta to better your situation, I am assuming, to better your business
Uh-huh.
based on proximity, I would say, or I would guess. So, how much of a factor would you say that that has been part of your success?
I had a mentor at the time that said the level of success that you have in life is based on the people, places, and things that you surround yourself with. And so, for me, being from Virginia, the 757 area, and this is no shots to anybody in Virginia because I was born there, so I can say it. I just felt like Virginia was not a place that was going to take me to the level of success that I wanted to be. I came to Atlanta to come party in my early 20s, right? And when I came, I was like, oh my God, these people are making so like anytime in Virginia you saw somebody with like a Bentley. I think the most expensive car you might see is somebody with a coupe, Bentley coupe in Virginia, right? And so anytime we saw them, it was typically like for maybe not Pharrell, because Pharrell at the time wasn't really driving that, but you might see Missy or Timberland or one of the football players or a drug dealer. But you never really saw entrepreneurs in Virginia living like this. And so I come to Atlanta and I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. The money is here. And so I always knew that I wanted to live in Atlanta. But I know that for everybody that's listening, you might say, well, I don't have the means to just pick up and move. That sounds great. Well, you do have the means to make sure that you pay attention to the people, places, and things that you surround yourself, whether it's physical or even mental. And so for me, yes, I was able to pick up and move to another location. But guess what also happened, Rashad? I still fell right back into the space of getting around the partiers. That's why when I say I had insurance that helped me, but I wasn't really hustling the way that I hustle now. I wasn't focused the way that I was focused now. We was going out every week. We was turning up. I was with Mike, me and my friends. That was our big bro. And so I had to make a decision to change my circle if I wanted to build my business. So just like today, if you are in a location where maybe there's not a lot of entrepreneurs, you could be plugged into this pod. You could be plugged into all the people that Rashad has been referring you to. And so you don't necessarily have to physically move, but you mentally must move yourself into the space and be around those people who are doing the things. And eventually, if your goal is to move to a new location, you've prepared yourself by doing the work up here first. See, me, I did the moving physically thinking that it was going to change my life, but I wasn't making no money. I wasn't building any business. I had money because I had insurance, but it wasn't until I started working on this. It wasn't until I started paying attention to what I was listening to, the information that I was receiving, whether it be through television, whether it be through podcasts. I don't even really listen to music anymore today. I'm literally a potter. That's all I listen to is podcasts. And then I have a couple guilty pleasures of some reality ratchet shows. But for the most part, that's all I'm doing all day long when I'm working is listening to podcasts. And so I think that's important because a lot of times people think they got to physically move. No, mentally, you need to move. And then that's what's going to change your life.
Correct. Mindset. Start
Mm-hmm.
with the mindset.
Yes.
That that is the very first caveat that we teach here at the Millionaire About Morning um, platform because it's so important. Um, Podcast, listening to podcasts is a cheat code. It
Oh, it's
truly
a cheat code.
it used to be reading books, but now you can literally sit up and do whatever it is you're doing, working out, driving, and just listen to a podcast and get game from it all day long.
Yep. All day long. All day long. And it's so much game on these pods nowadays, y'all. I'm telling you guys, literally and then once you start really engulfing your mind into this information, listening to certain things, it like becomes repulsive. You know how sometimes people say, they stop eating pork, right? And then if they try it again, it's like, I got sick. Sometimes
Right.
that's what happens when you start putting your mind in those environments and getting yourself surrounded by people who think and talk differently. I've never heard wealthy people talk about the past. They always talk about where they're going. I've never heard successfully healthy people talk about how they feel horrible. No, they're talking about let's go do these gains. I don't hear happily married people going and talking negatively about their mate. They're always talking about the great things, right? And so when you start surrounding yourself around those things, it becomes very contagious and you're going to start changing the way that you move.
You're right. It you use the word there. It gets repulsive.
Yes.
It's it gets to the point that if you walk in the grocery store, you kind of hide yourself because you don't want to see that older person from your, let's say,
Oh my.
past life.
Mhm. And
Because
you don't even have anything in common with them anymore,
exactly,
unfortunately. Mhm. Yep.
yeah. Unfortunately or fortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, right? Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, exactly. So if if you're always on the path of kind of moving up and just being, I like to consider it positive. Um, because man, I read something the other day or heard it that someone said that I know exactly who it was. Grant Cardone in his book 10x.
Mhm.
But he said in his book that it's kind of your responsibility to make yourself successful.
Oh yeah.
And with it being a responsibility, if you're looking at it from a viewpoint of you need to eat the best food, you need to stay out of the way of the most violence, you need to be able to get you and your family around safely, you need to
Mhm.
have the best health care. So when it comes to being successful, that's how you're able to afford all of these things.
Yeah.
So it is a personal responsibility when you
Oh,
look at it.
absolutely.
You would
Absolutely. For
agree.
the people that are watching you and even for yourself and the legacy that you're going to leave. I mean, like we shouldn't be passing away from things that we could be in control of. You know what I mean? Like that's our responsibility. And so we've got to, when people tell me that what they want to do, I work with speakers and coaches. And so when they come to me and they say, I want to help people to do XYZ, thus and that, I say, well, it's number one, your responsibility to stay healthy because how are you going to walk in your purpose if you're not healthy? Number two, it's your responsibility to speak life. I had to tell one of our clients the other day because it's like she's always not speaking life. She's speaking opposite. I won't say death because I don't ever want to put that on someone, but she's never speaking the things that she desires. I said, I'm going to tell you something. Every single time we get on this call, you're never giving positive, even to the point when I say, hey, how you doing today? Oh, well, I'm just getting by. Why do we do that? Like, why do we do that? Because the more that you say that, your subconscious mind begins to believe it. Why is
Right.
it that people that are broke, that always cry broke, they could get $1 million and be gone in 2 days because they've programmed themselves to believe these things. And your subconscious mind does not know the difference of crazy, cuckoo, insane. It only knows what you tell it. And so it's very important that, guys, if we want to have the things that we desire in our life, you want to be looking great, you got to speak life into looking great. You got to have pictures up everywhere you go of things that you desire. If you want to have more money in your bank account, you got to stop saying, I ain't got it. You got to start saying it's coming and create solutions to make it happen. If you want to have happy relationships, that's why I don't get around bitter single people. I'm single, but what I'm not going to do is be around people who are bitter and single and talk about it ain't good men out here. It's great men out here. It's great women out here. And I'm going to speak life into that, right? Now, I'm going to speak some realities too, but I'm going to speak life. So it's very important that we want to surround ourselves. We want to have the success in whatever area we want to have success in. Again, people, places, and things. But that can be physical or that can also be mental. Very important.
Very important. Very important. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Uh, yes, yes, yes. With that, I like to segue into, you mentioned the word legend.
Mhm.
What I consider you to be is a legend builder. That
Oh,
is what a book is. That is what a book does, is make people legendary. And there's so many ways that it starts there and can continue. And so, with that being said, your business of the Book Profits Club. Let's get into that.
okay. Yeah, let's get into it.
So tell us about it. What exactly? I guess we know it's about creating a book first off, but what is like the process?
Well, well, I think it's better to explain why. So, why did I come up with Book Profits Club, right? So, I when I decided to transition out of network marketing, I knew that I wanted to do something for myself, and I figured, why don't I just go ahead and write a book? That's honestly the reason why I left network marketing, because I wrote a book and I was called out for it by our leadership. I thought this was crazy. I was like, he don't even understand. And so I wanted to educate people on why being an author gives you the authority to speak in front of an audience. When you think about authority, it starts with author. And so I then transitioned into the coaching space. And as I'm helping all these people to become authors, I'm going back and looking to see 60, 90 days from that date, how are they doing? And I was finding out a very unique commonality. Most of them were not talking about their books anymore, let alone even talking about the transformations. And I started to do a lot of research and do surveys. And I realized that so many authors are writing books, or people are becoming published authors every day, but they're not making money. 11,000 books a day are published, and out of the 11, only 1,000 will make $1,000 or more this year. Now, I don't know about you, I can't live off $1,000. I can't live off of $10,000 in a year. So I quickly saw that there was a problem and a solution that need to be solved. There's a lot of people helping people to write books, but how are we being profitable? So in 2019, I had already helped so many people to become authors. I decided to launch the Book Profits Club. Now, it's been a process of just paying attention to what people want, but at the same time, paying attention to what they need. See, me being a coach, I know they need to be profitable. But what people really want is they want community, which is why we created community in Book Profits Club, right? I also know people want the resources, which is why we have software and courses and trainings. But then, number three, what most people want that are authors is they want those platforms. I always like to tell our clients that recognition gets recognized. So, like your pod, right? Your podcast, this incredible platform that you're providing to individuals to get seen. People want to be on podcasts. So we have a database of that. People want to speak on stages. So not only do I have databases of stages, but I create stages. We have monthly workshops where our members get to speak. I'm going to Ghana for our second annual event. Next year, we'll go back to Dubai for our second annual event. We have a hybrid event where it's virtual and physical, where we have thousands of people join us from all over the world, called Ignite to Profits. And so for years, I've been doing all these events, but I was like, you know what? Let me create these opportunities for members to come and speak on the stage. And let me show them, while they get that platform, how to also get that profit, right? And then the fourth is the magazine, which we have our Author Allstars magazine. This is our fourth annual dinner coming up in December. But what a lot of people don't even realize is that right before well, when did I come out with them? No, it was after. I don't even know the dates. But right after we had our second annual, we were awarded with Author All Stars Day by the city of Atlanta. So we received a proclamation and everything. That's how you know that magazine is lit. And so we have a big announcement that we're going to be having in December about the magazine and how we are going to be touching platforms all over the world. And so, yeah, like I created these platforms because I knew that people wanted that exposure, the community, and the resources. But at the same time, if I can give them that and then show you how to be profitable, that is how you win and win big. Uh oh, you're muted. I was going to say, I can't hear you.
You wrapped it all up. You wrapped it all up in one, man. That's so to sit back and see a problem and be able to solve a problem. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. Also,
That's it.
that's like to me, it's artistic. It's artistic. It's science. It's mathematics, and that's everything rolled up to make entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. You want to be a successful entrepreneur, find a problem, a simple problem. Not all this deep, poetic stuff that I hear our community always doing. We always making something poetic and deep that nobody understands what you're talking about, or you make it so general that still I can't identify with it. And you find the problem and you create a solution. It's literally just that easy. And we make it so much more harder than what we need to. And a lot of times the problem is going to be exactly something that you dealt with, a specific event or chain of events that you dealt with and you overcame. You have a solution because you overcame it. Whatever that solution was that you did, that's what you need to create for your business and watch you flourish.
There it is. And listen, I want to say this real quick because I'm a marketer, do marketing. And I want to say this about you and your business. You really stuck with the word, the most favorite marketing term, which is KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid. And I want
Uh-huh.
to say I receive all of your marketing, your emails, and your VSLs, and the things that you produce for marketing. And I have to tell anyone that's out there listening, it's simple. She keeps it so simple, but it is to the point. Even her emails, you get complicated email. I get a lot of complicated emails, but your emails be like, look here, we doing this. You in or you
Look at
know,
here, right? Yeah. And I don't want to have to make people figure it out or think. We're gonna make this
no,
simple. Simple
yeah,
solution. Yeah, simple
yeah.
solution. Hmm.
I've noticed that, and you gotta love that because I mean, you're still on top of mind. You don't have to really dig into it. They know what you do. Even your website, let's get straight to it. Here's a video of me. Here's some of the things I do. If you need a
Yep.
picture of me, here you go. And there's that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying that is because I would consult people. I would actually take them to your site to say, here's what you need to be doing.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm honored, darling.
Definitely.
Honored. Hmm.
So I know you have to run, but
Yes.
I do want to thank you again. I know you're busy, busy, busy. I want to thank you for coming back on the show um, because you've upgraded your background, your equipment, and everything. It looks
Yeah,
really
you got me right when I was moving in. I was like, "Ooh, Lord."
nice.
I never forget. I was like, Lord, he gonna think, what is going on with her stuff? But yeah,
That's what's up. I'm
it's
glad
all
you stuck with
upgraded.
that.
We official now.
Exactly, exactly, and it looks good. Looks good. So yeah, Taria, I will follow up with you with a recording of this and send it over your way.
Well, can I tell everybody? Can I give everybody a little gift that's listening in?
You surely can. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. So for everybody that's listening in, y'all got to thank Rashad for this gift because I'm hooking you up. It is my free class, and it's going to talk to you guys, specifically those who are authors who want to be speakers and coaches, or speakers and coaches who want to be authors, or a combination of all, right? But if you want to understand what it takes and the mistakes that authors are making by not getting on the stages, how to get on the stages, and how to leverage those stages, leveraging your book. This right here, this thing right here, you're going to go to my link. It's so easy to remember. It's how to speak on more stages.com. How to speak on more stages.com. It's a free masterclass. I promise you the train is going to blow you away, but you're also going to get the opportunity if you want to get a copy of this or any of my other books that are designed to help you guys. And when you get that, I want you to respond to the email and say, I heard you from Millionaire by Morning, and I am going to bless you with another gift. So all you got to do is when you get my email that's going to give you the gifts, then I want you to reply, say, I heard you on Millionaire by Morning. And those who do that, I'm going to hook you up with another gift directly from yours truly.
There you go. There you go. Just for listening in on the show.
Hello.
So for anyone out there, for myself, do you have an affiliate program?
Of course. And so all of our so I offer the affiliate to our members. So as long as you're a member, I pay 50% out. So anybody who becomes a Book Profits Club member, and authors, if you know speakers and coaches, we pay a 50% monthly commission for every single one of your members. So all you got to do is join BPC. And then, hey, because I've even had some people like, listen, I can get you about 40, 50 people on a webinar. Put them on the webinar and let's get them into the deal, because I feel that building this community is the most important thing that we can do. So yes, we do have an affiliate program. As a member, you get the 50%.
So awesome. So
Yep.
awesome. Just become a member. That's all you have to do. And you have the website. I'll definitely be linking. Is there any necessary social media you'd like to shout?
How to speak on more stages.com. Go there first, guys. That's where you get the free gift. And then I promise I will send you all of my social media details. Okay. So, how to speak on more stages.com. I always send everybody there That's where you get access to the masterclass. That's where you get access to learn about the books and things like that. And you'll get all of my social media. And I'll even make sure that this show interview, you guys will get access to that too.
That's what's up.
Yes.
That's what's up. Thanks a lot for coming
Thank
on the
you.
show again. I know you have to run, you have to book it. You are, uh, like you say, business person. Still got to get it, get it, get it. So
Yes.
you have the rest of your evening. Enjoy, and anyone that's listening, continue to make money, make moves, and make meaningful memories.
Bye, y'all.